We're going to go straight into the questions. I do want to, for anyone who may have come in and does not know this, the candidates, Aaron Marquez and Representative Miranda, are running for the Senate seat, and Mr. Bolding, Munoz, Rios, and Mr. Quiñones are all running for a House position, a House of Representatives position in District 27. Okay. So let's begin with the first question, and the first person to answer that question will be Representative Miranda, and then we will go from left to right in sequence, okay? You have 90 seconds to answer this question. Tonight's forum is taking place on the 4th anniversary of the implementation of SB 1070. In addition to the damage the bill has done to the lives of immigrant families and the social division it caused, conservative estimates say that the cost to the state's economy in lost tourism and business may have exceeded hundreds of millions of dollars. As a member of the state legislature, what would you do, if anything, to work against the passage and implementation of similar immigration-based laws or other bills that infringe upon people's civil rights, and how would you accomplish that goal?
Okay, well, first of all, to pass a pro-immigrant piece of legislation at the legislature, until we are the majority there, then that can be done. But what I plan to do is to continue to do what I've been doing. I am the co-chair of the Arizona-Mexico Trade Commission. And we've taken a couple of trips to Mexico City to create relationships with our Mexican delegates there. And I think that is a strong key. First is to have those relationships with Mexico, to build that trust with them. In fact, I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I hope I have time. When we got there, the first thing I told our speaker was, let's not even talk about trade and business on both sides of the border. We have to create relationships. Oh, Catherine, they want business just like we do. We'll be okay. No, they really asked us some crucial questions like, you know, why are you here? You do not like Mexicans. Why do you dehumanize us? This is the reality of those kind of meetings that I've been into. And I appreciated those questions because relationships are important with the other side of the border in order to get economic development on both sides of the border. So that's what I'm going to continue to do to address our immigration reform. In fact, we need immigration reform in Arizona because Congress is proving that they're not going to do the job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I do advise anyone to please feel free to adjust the microphone because I know you have the word.
Thank you. First of all, I will fight. I will fight and I will vote no for any hate-related bills because these are nothing but legalizing people to hate others, and it's so wrong. It's discrimination, and that's all there is to it. I will vote no for everything, and I will speak out against it. It's true we are outnumbered, but I think we do need to reach across the aisle and talk to some of our Republican friends that have values too. They care about people, they care about education, they have feelings. Most of all, they're very conservative and want to save money. So we need to show them, having people here, immigrants, working, showing the numbers of taxes, the tax payment that they make, the contribution to our economy. So those are the things I will do. I will find ways to reach over across, speak to my other friends, Republican friends, and work on their values that are very much like mine. And I know that they have values and I know they care, but we just have to show them the figures, the money. Yes, immigrants contribute to this economy a lot of money, and that's what we need to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was there when Senate Bill 1070 was introduced, and it was a very ugly time. It was very contentious, and it got very personal. What will I do in the future? I think the things that we need to do and have been done were exemplified with Senate Bill 1062, the legislation that sought to discriminate against the LGBT community. How do we do that? You get people involved. You involve the media. You involve the people. You have people come out. You have people present in committee. But much like my colleagues that have spoken, At the end of it all, we need to have the numbers. And it's organizations like La Familia Vota or other organizations that get out there and register our folks to vote that are going to ultimately make the difference for us. We need to elect people into office that are like-minded, that don't want to discriminate, because I've served with the likes of Russell Pierce, and there is no changing the minds of people like that. So will I fight? Absolutely, but I think it's incumbent upon us as a community to work very hard to get all of our young people registered to vote and to change the face of the legislature.
Thank you. And I realize we have long gaps in between, so if anyone needs the question repeated at any point, don't be shy.
Thank you, Judge. The first thing I do is I leak the news source. So when we're in those committee meetings and the propositions or bills like those are even being introduced, I leak the stories out so that I get business developers and business interests already at hand. All we have to do is look at what happened with SB 1062. But let's just go back a little further. In 2011, Russell Pierce tried to pass the Omnibus Bill, where it was going to make it a requirement for a student to show proof of citizenship before he or she registered for school. And what did we do? We got business developers aware of what would happen to our state if those sorts of bills took effect. So the number one thing we have to do is, one, inform the community. Two, make sure that businesses understand the damages that will happen to our state. And then finally, we have to continue to do the work that's been done. And we have to look at the history. What Mi Familia Vota, what Citizens for Better Arizona were able to do in November of 2011, getting rid of then sitting President Russell Pierce, that's proof that if you galvanize and you get people thinking alike, we can make progress happen. And so I'd leak the news, I'd get folks involved, and then I'd show the history that we can do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bolden.
Thank you. I think the first thing we have to do is we have to start by building coalitions. And I don't know if you guys happen to know, I'm not Hispanic, I'm a little black, right? But the first thing that I did is I built coalitions in the Hispanic and African American community, which shown by some of the endorsements we received from City Councilman Danny Valenzuela and Guadalupe Mayor Rebecca Jimenez. Also, we built coalitions in the campaign. We've received endorsements from labor unions and also the business community. I think that the fact of the matter is we are all Democrats in the Republican House. And in order to make sure that we're stopping bills from happening, we have to make sure that we have coalitions on both sides of the aisle. We have to make sure that we are consistently in the ear of those Republicans, and we're changing the narrative. Right now, 97% of all children, all Latino children under age of 5 are U.S. citizens. If you look at the media, you'd believe that we don't have kids who are Latinos who are U.S. citizens. We need to change the narrative and let individuals know on both sides of the aisle that we are people, that we all believe in economic development, we all believe in human rights, and we have to continue to fight day in and day out. So building coalitions is what I've been doing through this campaign, and that's what I'll continue to do as a state representative.
Thank you. Mr. Marquez.
For me, the answer is simple. I think we have to elect more Democrats. I think we have to elect Fred Duvall as our next governor. I think after we get through this primary, we have to find a way to get the Senate 15-15. I've been working in politics since 2004, and since 2004, I've heard that the Latino community across our country is the sleeping giant of American politics. And as soon as we wake it, we'll control what politicians do in both parties. So my question is, we said earlier, hoy marchamos, mañana votamos. Is this year, mañana, is this the year that the Latino community is going to turn out and vote? Or is it 2016? And what do we do as Democratic candidates to make sure we turn Arizona blue sooner than demographics will already get us there? I'm committed to working with whoever comes out of the House race to make sure we turn out the vote for Fred Duvall in District 27. I'm committed to working in the competitive Democratic swing districts where we need to elect Democrats in Ahwatukee, our neighboring district, to make sure that we have 15 Democrats and maybe one independent up in Sedona, so that when we go into the legislature in January, we got veto power and we have negotiation in the state Senate. Thank you.
Thank you.